Hello, welcome to Speed Force Racing, round 14. We're coming from Singapore. I'm Nightwalker, also known as Adam. I'm with Ramajan, as he likes to be called in another league. How are you doing, Peter?
Hello, buddy. How you doing?
Not too bad, mate. Having a little joke there. It's Ramavaj, who will be racing next week, rejoining the league, which is big news. He won the first 5 races. Do you expect to continue where you left off?
I hope so, yes.
Brilliant. So, we'll talk about Singapore. How do you find the circuit?
It's a pretty tough circuit, to say the least, because it has the most corners, I believe 23 or 22, I don't know exactly. And it's a pretty long track. Like, for a 25% race, it's around 30 laps or something, and it's very long and slow, so it takes like 2 minutes almost to get a lap done. So we might hit a 1 hour limit.
Is it crucial, like Monaco? If you make a mistake in Monaco, you're going to go into the wall. Is it the same situation with Singapore, or not exactly?
Not exactly. I wouldn't say it's the same, but of course it's a built track. It's in a town, so it's not a usual track, to be honest. So I think, yeah, it can definitely punish you, but not like Monaco.
Well, hopefully we have a decent race. I'm hoping for no rain because, like you've mentioned before, the lap's very long and it's quite time consuming. With rain, it's going to easily go to maybe 2:20 a lap.
Yeah, we had enough rain.
Exactly. Yes, definitely.
In the last 2 rounds.
Right. Do you want to go to spectator and we can start the session on time for once?
Yeah. Okay.
Brilliant.
Of course.
Okay, so as we await the session start for qualifying, we'll go through the points at the moment. So in the Drivers' Championship, Techno is on 186 points, Humbug 38 points behind on 148, Lienel on 138 points, Chopper 76 points, and Fletcher Boy 72. So Peter, do you see maybe Humbug and Lienel challenging to try and get closer to Techno in this session?
They must. I think they must challenge him, because it's crunch time.
Well, that's it, exactly.
So,
there's like I think there's 175 points left to gain from first places this season. So you expect maybe, I don't know if Chopper and Fletcher Boy are out of the drivers' title picture. Chopper 76 points, Fletcher Boy 72. Do you expect them to challenge, or do you think it's over for this season?
They are on the verge of losing their chances. And I think we'll get the answer after this race.
I agree, yeah. I think this would be the pivotal race to decide in the Drivers' Championship. We'll look at the Constructors, which is a little bit more closer. So Haas have got 221 points, Williams 200 points, Toro Rosso only 2 points behind with 198 points, Sauber 169 points, and McLaren massive 60 behind Sauber on 109 points. So Constructors' Championship, still a lot to play for going into the later stages of this season.
Yeah, definitely. So I think if the Haas drivers can keep it together, they have a pretty big chance of winning this year's title.
I agree. So let's see what our session will hold. Will it be dry? Will it be wet? Let's just wait. And it's a dry session, which will be a bonus to most of the drivers, especially the title contenders, especially Techno. Seem to struggle a little bit in wet weather this season. Do you reckon many drivers can take maybe they can gain a bit more experience from doing some wet races to take forward to season 2 to improve their game?
Definitely. I think the wet weather is always a part of the sport, because it's an outside sport, and I think a wet race can decide and can, yeah, so it can decide who is a good driver and who's a great driver.
So everyone apart from a couple of drivers in the pits on the super soft tyres. Do you reckon Ultra Soft's the tyre to qualify on?
I think it's a one-stop, so why not? I want to be on the fastest tire available in my qualifying lap. At any time I can, at any time. So that's my opinion.
Alright, so we're on board with Noek. He is actually a reserve driver for Force Indy. He's covering for BDSX Jade Rios, who's currently unwell at the moment. We wish her the best, but new driver. He raced in our Classic League. Do you think he could take maybe that step further and put a good performance in for the modern series of our division?
I think he can get like a top 5, and that's a pretty decent start to your Speed Force racing career, I think.
Yeah, not everyone can have the fairy tale like you had. 5 poles, 5 wins. I think that is going to be a record that's hard to beat.
I hope, but I can try. I will try to beat it.
So, loads of drivers will be in fear when they realise Ramavaj is back racing next week. It will put a lot of drivers on their toes and trying to maybe capitalise on the race tonight to try and get themselves a bit distant in the Drivers' Championship. When you resume, you'll be on 125 points. So, is it too late for you to challenge for the Drivers' Championship?
Never.
That's what we like, confidence. That's what you get when you race with Speed Force Racing. So Noek is coming around the final corner. It's 23 corners along this track, and he will set his fast lap now. This could be probably the first of 2 runs. How many runs would you do in qualifying, Peter?
Yeah, with the short qualifying session, I can do barely 2 laps, and yeah, that's it. You can manage. You have to manage a good lap, at least 1 good lap out of 2. And I would like to do it like my first one is a banker, and then the second one is where I really push and try to maximize everything. That's my opinion, and that's my goal.
Yeah, I think that's quite a smart strategy to do that, because you've seen in real F1 where some of the top drivers won't even put a banker lap in, and then they go out for their one and only quali lap and then usually bin it. So there's a lot of pressure on someone's shoulders just to do the one run.
A one run is definitely a lot harder, because like in Singapore or Monaco, one mistake can cost like a second.
So yeah, it's a huge difference in a race and in a sport where tenths of a second is a huge gap. You can't afford to lose a second, especially around a track like Singapore.
You cannot afford to lose a second anywhere, I think, but yeah, Singapore, you cannot overtake that easily like in Monza or Spa. So it's going to be a good race for pole position, and hopefully it won't rain and we can have a nice and incident-free race.
So
we don't want
yeah, what a lap! Well done from Noek. Do you see that as a provisional pole time, or do you reckon that will be beaten?
That's a good goal. I think it's hard. Yo, okay. I put it together in my mind. Okay, I think Fletcher can beat it, but we'll see. We'll see.
So, what's the ideal time? Do you reckon 1:37s is possible?
Definitely possible, but it's gonna be hard. I don't know the track conditions, if they are suiting the car or not at the moment, so...
We've heard from the weatherman we're going to have a dry race with the dry quali, so we'll check. So, track temperature for quali is 28 degrees Celsius, and for the race it is 28 degrees Celsius again, so good track temperature conditions should get the maximum out of the tyres.
I think it's what about the track temperatures?
That was track temperature. The air temperature is 25 degrees Celsius in qualifying, and in the race it is 24 degrees Celsius.
Okay, so that's not that high, not that high. So I think the drivers can make the tires last longer.
Just had a McLaren Honda just hit the tyre of Gamey Things in the Ferrari, who has had a little crash, knocked his wheel off. McLaren then just belting into the wheel, no damage, hopefully. So we'll go through a quick run-up. We've got 6 minutes left of the session. So Noak in the reserve drive for Force India, 138.167, provisional pole at the moment. Second, the championship leader, Techno Thriller. Fletcher Boy third with a 8 tenths of a second off provisional pole. TJ Honest is fourth. CBO Land 5th, Lee Nell is 6th, Humbug is 7th, Racing Podge 8th, Lord JB 9th, Gamey Things is 10th, he's out of the session, Blood and Sand 11th, S. Graham 12th, Snipes Sake is 13th, Did SX 14th, Guys This Mudkip is 15th, Uzi 16th, and 17th, Chopper 18th is Smelly Badger. So the last 4 have not set a time yet. So Fletcher Boy is 8 tenths of a second behind provisional pole time. Do you reckon that he should be able to improve on that time?
I think he can. I think everyone will improve, except from like Noak, because that time is already very quick. So he's done an amazing job.
So on board the Sauber of Guys It's Mudkip, he's on the ultra soft tyres, currently in sector 3 on his fast lap, no time set at the moment, so he's going to try and keep it nice and gently as he goes through, as I call it, the tunnel of death, because the entry is ridiculously tight. He gets through that easily enough. He should be setting a time, I'd probably say maybe about 3-4 seconds off provisional pole.
141, I think. 141.
Oh, 142.6. So, Guys, Mudkip stays 16th position. Did SX in front of him, 3.694 seconds behind provisional pole. So the top guys will probably be in the pits now, trying to make a little bit of adjustment, maybe to the front wing, maybe a little bit more aero to get through the tighter corners. Hopefully we should have a little bit of a mix-up of the order. That would be quite interesting. Techno Thriller will probably be looking to try and get maybe first 2 on the grid. Do you see Techno having maybe an advantage over his rivals with such a clear gap in the Drivers' Championship? He's at, let's see, he's 38 points in front of Humbug. So it's a race win and a bit more.
38. That's a huge gap.
Yeah, especially round 14. There's got to be major issues for Techno Thriller to miss out on the Drivers' Championship at the moment, but you never know what's going to happen in a race, especially Singapore, a tight track like this. It could be quite a bit of trouble, I suppose. Turn 1, lap 1, as we saw in Real F1 this season on Singapore, as Chopper just goes out and, oh, what a shame. Bad exit on corner, maybe hit the power too early and spun into the barrier. That's him out of the session. I don't think he will stay third, but if he does, that would be an amazing job. We'll go on board with Techno Thriller, who's on his outlap on the ultra soft tyres. 3 tenths of a second behind provisional poleman Noak. Let's see what he can do as he tries to get his tyres up to temperature. Is it important to get your tyres up to temperature on this game, or is that realism not carrying over through Codemaster's work?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't know. Like, sometimes it's pretty important when it's a colder track, but when it's pretty high, I mean the temperature is pretty high, it's not that important, because you can get overheated tires, which is always bad.
That's true. I did like an interesting detail. When I did a practice race, I think about 3 weeks ago, I went onto the grass on my formation lap, and when I started the race it was impossible because I had so much dirt on my tyres. I like the fact that Codemasters have added that feature into the game, so hopefully as you warm your tyres it does give you a performance boost off the line as Techno Thriller goes into turn 1, turn 2 and turn 3. We'll wait for a sector 1 time. Do you miss the old Singapore sling, the bit of the track where they changed it, where it used to have a little chicane in it, didn't it?
Yeah, you mean the chicane, the triple chicane, and,
yeah,
and the old bridge. Well, I can get on with that one as well, but it was funny and it was a lot harder to master.
Yeah, I agree with that. It was quite tough to carry the right amount of speed without going too far into the corner and just smashing it. But I think there's a load of tracks next year that are going to get edited. I think it was Abu Dhabi as well that's going to get changed for next year.
I don't know anything about Abu Dhabi.
I'm sure the
I
drivers weren't happy with it and it's going to be changed.
I heard Hungaroring has to edit its track to keep their contract alive or get an extension.
That's interesting because I don't personally like the track, but I don't think there's much more you could do to that track to encourage overtaking.
Nothing. I can say the same. Like nothing. There are hills and a water park around it, so you cannot build another track, I think. Oh, and
that's not an improvement by Techno. He's not improved there, so he stays second, and he's got 20 seconds left. He's got enough fuel, he could go for an extra fast lap. Go on board with Fletcher Boy. Yeah, we're on board with him now. He's just into sector 3 currently at the moment, so he's got a big job on his hand. He wants to at least get provisional second on the grid. Maybe first would be good for him, but I think if you're starting maybe 4th downwards, it's going to be very tight going into turn 1 with so much traffic around you.
That one will be the deciding factor, I think.
So Fletcher Boy's coming around last corner. Let's see what he crosses the line. He goes second. Oh, it's tight though. If Techno's still on the lap, that could be a tight, but provisional second at the moment. Great job by Fletcher Boy. CBO landing the McLaren. He's 5th at the moment. He's in sector 1 at the moment. He's right. He must be coming in. That's 2.5 seconds down on his original time.
And Novak made a mistake.
So there we go, Noak making, yeah, he's made a mistake, so it just gives a bit of hope, because a few drivers were worried about how fast he's on time trial, but it's about taking that speed from time trial and actually putting it into race pace, and not a lot of drivers can do that. Is it a tough thing to take a time trial setup and try and make it realistic for a race?
Yeah, if you take a time trial setup from someone else, then I think it can be pretty hard to cope with it in an actual race. Like if something is good on time trial, it's not always going to be good on race pace and on qualifying or anything like that. And he improved by 900, so Novak was the fastest.
So yeah, 138.0, great time by him.
Yeah, pretty good time. He couldn't crack the 137s, but he was pretty close. That was a great lap.
So we will wait for the session to end. I think just CBO Land's got across the line, so we'll actually give the rundown at the moment. Oh, there we go. Typical. Always about to do something and get cut off. So 5th for CBO Land in the McLaren Honda. This is his second permanent drive. He's back completely for the season. So Techno Thriller actually got a penalty.
A 5-second penalty.
5 position penalty, which is interesting.
What's
we'll
that
just
for?
No idea. Collision, there you go.
Graham.
So Noak first, second Techno Thriller with a penalty, 5 positions. Fletcher Boy third, Chopper 4th, 5th CBO Land, TJ 6th, 7th is Uzi, 8th Lee Now, 9th Humbug, 10th Racing Podge. That's a top 10 from qualifying. So Techno Thriller has got a 5 position grid penalty, which will affect him massively, because that's going to knock him down to 7th position, if I get my maths right.
Yeah, 7th. Yeah, 7th.
So that's going to put him right in the mix of a lot of trouble potentially going into turn 1, because it's very, very tight going into turn 1, turn 2, turn 3.
Yeah,
so
the midfield is dangerous.
Exactly that. So while we'll wait for the players, do you reckon many people will add a little bit more aero to their wings or take a bit of aero off for the race?
Yeah, after you leave the pit for your first lap in qualifying, you can only adjust your front wing, your brake balance, I believe. No, yeah, your brake balance and your on throttle differential.
So when you're doing qualifying, is your quali setup also your race setup, or do you reckon if you load your quali setup, do you reckon altering that front wing a couple of positions up or down would benefit you?
Yeah, it depends on the track. Like in Monaco, you can go for maximum potential in qualifying, because you will have pole position then, and you can just run away, as no one can overtake in Monaco unless you make a mistake.
So all the drivers starting their formation lap. Let's hope they can all keep it clean. Snipesake has been disqualified from the session. Not a lot of people take the formation lap seriously. I like it on. It gives commentators a chance to have their say on what they expect from the race. But also as a driver, I like to have the formation lap on as a driver, because it's just a bit more to it. What you get from real F1, I want that in a game. Or how do you feel about formation lap?
I agree with you, and I had an experience in Sochi back in round 4 with you guys when we had dry qualifying and then a wet race.
Yeah.
And it gives you a little bit of a chance to cope with the conditions, to find out the braking zones and things like that, so that can help in the first few laps, I think.
Yeah, it gives you that opportunity to maybe read the track a little better as you're going around it, because you need to find parts of the track where you're going to be late braking. You need to know that you can do that, and I think formation lap helps that.
Yeah, and remember, a fully loaded car is a lot different than a light car.
Exactly that, exactly. So we are getting the grid reforming now. So we've got Noak first, second is Fletcher Boy, third Chopper, fourth CBO Land, 5 TJ Honest, 6 is Uzi, 7th due to a 5 position penalties, Techno Thriller, 8th Lee Nell, Humbug is in 9th, Racing Podge 10th, Lord JB 11th, Gaming Things 12th, Did SX 13th, 14th, Blood and Sand 15th, S Graham, Smelly Badger 16th, Snipesake is 17th, and guys, it's Mudkip is in 18th. So as we wait the Sauber to rejoin the grid, we should be getting lights in a minute. So we wait for the players. So we've got 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5 red lights as we wait them to go, and it's a long wait as we go. So Noak is getting a decent getaway. Looks like the McLaren Hondas are trying to get up the field early as well. So as we lead into turn 1, there's a little bit of contact between the Mercedes and the McLaren Honda. The Mercedes going wide there through the contact. We'll go on board with Techno Thriller. He's gained some positions as there looks like to be a bit of contact. Blood and Sand is doing well to stay out of it. He's lost positions as well. Smelly Badger is down the order as well. Did SX too. So it looks like they could be coming together there.
Techno was the biggest winner again. He's up into P5.
So Noak is still leading from his grid slot, which is good for him. First race. So Fletcher Boy is 6/10 of a second behind him. Chopper 1.4 seconds, 1.5 seconds now behind him as CBO Land gets past Techno Thriller. Techno Thriller might be a little bit enraged by that penalty, which could be impacting him at the moment, because he usually is a decent driver to get away from the starting grid. Oh, he's gone into the back of the McLaren Honda. There's sent the McLaren Honda off track there, a bit of a spin. McLaren Honda there touching with TJ Honest in the Toro Rosso. So getting a little bit heated between 3 drivers there. McLaren Honda trying to make a move as his teammate has an eyeing up TJ Honest. TJ Honest has a little bit more contact with CBO Land. CBO Land's drifting a little bit wide. There's more contact as well. TJ Honest and CBO Land. This is not going to end well.
Yeah, I think in the first accident involving Techno, it was definitely Techno's fault, as I saw it on the camera. But in the second time, I think it's a little bit more for CBO Land.
CBO Land getting a 5-second stop-go penalty. Techno is pitting, yes, as is Uzi.
Can determine the championship.
So CBO Land getting a 5-second stop-go penalty. Looks like he's got a lot of lag, guys. It's Mudkip getting a 5-second stop-go penalty. Speeding in the pit lane. Talking about the pit lane, very interesting entrance and exit. It's quite tricky.
It definitely is. It's pretty tricky. Like it's pretty tight, so you cannot lie down and just lay in your car. You have to concentrate.
It's interesting at the moment. So Techno's pitted, Uzi's pitted, Lord JB's pitted, Blood and Sand, guys, it's Mudkip and Smelly Badger all pitting. You'd expect Techno Thriller to maybe go for the soft tyres, the hardest compound we have. He's back on the ultra soft tyres, and he's the championship leader. And if he doesn't get in the top 10, that is 25 points lost, and someone will gain that. This is more important for Fletcher Boy now. Fletcher Boy, you need Humbug, you need Lee Now to be getting decent points today to try and capitalise on Techno Thriller's poor start to the race.
Techno had only one job, I believe, and it was to keep it calm. But yeah, he had a penalty, so he started from the back of the grid. But if you're a championship leader, you have to think long term, long game. You are playing a long game, I believe. So you cannot get into little fights which can result in bad accidents.
Yeah, I agree with you. You've got when you're leading championship by that many points, you've got to drive a different way. You can't be driving like you want to go for the win. You've got to drive to that lead in the championship and avoiding little niggles. As we've got Humbug and TJ Honest quite close together, teammates of course. Humbug is let go by TJ Honest, so it looks like team order is coming into effect, a decent team order as well, as Lee Now is now in the Williams on the back of both of the Toro Rosso drivers. So this could be a little ploy by Humbug to maybe get TJ Honest to hold up Lee Now, because that's important with these two in the Drivers' Championship as well.
Yeah, they are friends in real life, but we are racing tonight, so... And friendships are, I believe, are not made in on a racetrack during the race.
Exactly that, yeah, because drivers shouldn't really have many friends if they took it into their personal life, because when you're a driver, you're going to upset a lot of people. It could be making a move on them, having a bit of contact, so it's good that we have drivers that are friends outside the league. It's one of the benefits of joining our league as well. We're very friendly. You can make friendships, have a chat, have some banter as well, and also get some good racing in. As we've got Lee Now, he's half a second now behind TJ Honest. Humbug is getting up the road now, so it could be that Humbug was just generally faster than TJ Honest, because it looks like TJ Honest is holding up Lee Now. Do you expect Lee to make a pass on this lap, or maybe wait for the next lap for the DRS activation?
Yeah, TJ Honest is doing a pretty good job of holding up Lee Now, but remember, TJ Honest has front wing damage, so look at his turning. He's missing apexes due to that.
Yeah, on a track that is very aero dependent, just because of the nature of it, you don't really want to be carrying damage, so it's all good for Humbug, as TJ Honest is being his wingman there and holding up Lee Now in the Williams. Also, Williams, as I said, constructors, they're 21 points behind Haz, and with Techno out of the points currently, he's gone into the points now, 10th as Graham Pitts, so Williams need to really get a decent a decent amount of points to actually try and dent into the Haz's Constructors challenge.
And they are doing a pretty good job so far. Fletcher is second and Lee is seventh. And remember, he can catch Humbug, and CB Holland is not far up the road as well. And then there is a bit of a gap between CB Holland and Chopper. And Chopper is doing a pretty good job, to say the least. He's third, and he's keeping that third place.
Yeah, he's doing a very good job. We're on board with Blood and Sand. He's 5 tenths of a second behind the Force India Lord JB. Lord JB's made an early pit stop, I think. Blood and Sand 2. Lord JB on the super soft tyres, the medium compound available for today. So Blood and Sand on the ultra soft, the faster compound. He's going to have to try and make a move on Lord JB, but Lord JB is very tough to pass. He's sporting a new helmet for this race, so it may give him a bit of luck, but he's had a good couple of races, so maybe changing the helmet might have been a bad move.
Yeah, maybe. I think he made it for Singapore, especially.
There we go, he's got a special helmet, it's not doing him any favours at the moment. So we'll go for a quick rundown after lap 5 of 31 at the Singapore Grand Prix. So it's Nowak, he's got a massive 4 seconds advantage over Fletcher Boy in the Williams chopper is 3rd, 4th CBO Land, Humbug is 5th, TJ Honest is 6th, 7th is Williams and Lee Now, who we're on board with, Snipesake is in 8th, Techno 9th, Didasx is 10th, Gamey Things in the pit in 11th, Uzi 12th, Lord JB 13th, Blood and Sand 14th, Racing Podge 15th, Guys It's Mudkip 16th, S Graham 17th, and Smelly Badger 18th.
And looking at Fletcher, he's doing a pretty good job. He's 2nd. He was 2nd in Monza last week, and I think he could have got 1st in Spa.
Yeah, he's had some difficult races and some good races where opportunities are there as well.
Yeah, but since like Baku, where he got his first win, so since Baku he's on a pretty good form. Yeah, he had bad luck, but he's on good form.
Oh, Techno is on the back of Snipesake at the moment. It's quite close between the Red Bull driver and the Haas. There's 0.378 seconds between them. So 4/10 of a second. So the Haas driver will be having a little look. Maybe try and take the Red Bull driver on the inside. No, he keeps it clean. He's trying to keep it control. Maybe he's trying to wait for the DRS activation zones. Do you reckon DRS has an impact more at a track like this? Rather than like Monza with their DRS?
I think it's not like last year's game where Slipstream was OP. So, almost right into the back of him.
Very close there from Techno Thriller and running into the Red Bull. He's he's weaving a little bit behind the Red Bull, trying to maybe getting a bit frustrated that he can't get past him. It's quite hard to pass cars around this circuit.
Flag for someone. Oh, and that's Guys It's Mudkip.
Go on board with Guys It's Mudkip, the Sauber driver, and looks like he's missed his brain point, gone further on. He's spinning around now. It's not going to help him at all except tear up his tyres. We'll try and go on board with Techno Thriller. Techno Thriller getting he's not got the move down. He's trying to make the move now. He's on the he's going to go onto the outside of the corner. He's made it.
He made it, yes. That was necessary.
Yes, definitely. He needs to get further up the field now. He's got to start trying to protect that championship lead.
I think he maximized his potential for this race. Like he has to make at least one more stop, I believe. Yeah, he has to make, because he used only one set of tires, and it was the same. And the next person is Lee Now, 20 seconds up the road. So I think that's his potential maximized for this race.
Do you think it would maybe been a little bit better if Techno Thriller had actually gone to the soft compounder after such an early stop?
I would do that.
Yeah, I think that was the best strategy.
You would do that.
Yes, of course, yeah. I think putting on a set that you're already on means you've still got to make that pit stop, and I think tyre deg is not so high around this track.
Due to the low temperatures, so...
Lee Now is right on the back of TJ Honest now, the Williams driver trying to make it pass. He's going to get DRS. As DRS should be open anytime now. There we go, the Williams driver open his DRS. He's going to try and take TJ Honest down this little straight, going around the kink in the corner, going up to the braking zone now, and the Toro Rosso driver still keeping Lee Now behind him. Lee Now is going to have to make a move very, very soon if he's going to continue to try and challenge Techno Thriller for the Drivers' Championship.
Yeah, Humbug caught up to CBO Land quickly.
Go on board with Humbug. Yes, he's chasing down the McLaren Honda of CBO Land. So Humbug also in contention with the Drivers' Championship. But he's got to make some moves now, knowing that Techno Thriller's had a bad start. Technology currently in 8th. He will be scoring some points, but Humbug needs to maximise the issues that Techno's been having in the race.
Yeah, Techno is 8, and his championship rivals like Lee Now and Humbug are 7 and 5th. So that's not gonna help them.
So as we still remain on board Humbug, as he looks like he's trying to make a move on the McLaren Honda, we'll stick with him for a little bit and then we'll go and have a look on board Noek's car. He's a massive 7.2 seconds in front of Fletcher Boy after 8 laps. Incredible performance there.
Yeah, I think the modern cars suits him more than a classic car.
So CBO Land in the McLaren Honda is pitting, promotes Humbug up to 4th position, so Humbug now has to chase down Chopper. Lee now inherits 6th position after CBO Land's pit stop, so Lee now's got a lot to do to try and get himself further up the field, because he's the driver that should be maybe top 4 positions in this race, so he's got a lot of work to do.
Definitely. He's got a lot of work to do, but he can make it, I think.
On board with the Ferrari of Blood and Sand, a driver that's had a pretty decent season as Racing Podge clips the wall out of exit. Hopefully he's not had too much damage there, but Blood and Sand trying to make a move on Lord JB. He's got DRS wide open as we're going to turn 1. He's going to make a move. No, he's just having a look there as we're on board. A decent camera view at the moment. The Force India in front. The Force India driver will be driving very defensively. He's a great driver, is Lord JB, but Blood and Sand is his equal, and he should be trying to make a move as he goes into the second part of the DRS zone. So let's see what he can do. He's getting a nice slipstream off the Force India, but has he got enough? He's got too much higher wing. Is he losing speed to the Force India? We'll see. He can't make it. He can't make the move. Blood and Sand will stay in 12th position.
Oh, and he tapped the wall. It's
So,
a little bit early.
CBO Land is 3/10 of a second after a pit stop behind Snipesnake. He's on the super soft tyres, so do you expect that to be his only stop now? Oh, it's going to be close.
Yes.
The McLaren Honda and Red Bull very, very close to touching there. Could have been an easy wipeout by either of them going through the bridge there. So CBN Land gets past Snipesake. So he'll be challenging the Techno Thriller's spot, because Techno has to pitch up again a 5-second stop go penalty. Speeding in the pit lane, that's not going to help him. He was in 3rd position. He will be losing a lot more positions now. So Lee now also pitting. So TJ Arness is going to have a nice little gap behind him. So that should maybe... He could maybe try and control his race pace a little bit better, try and conserve them tyres for a couple of laps more.
What do you think of Techno? What strategy is he on? Is he going to go for the super soft or the soft?
Well, CBO Land has gone on the super softs, and I'm thinking...
Oh, I said CBO Land. I wanted to say Techno.
No, what I'm saying, CBO Land pitted and he went on the super soft, but drivers like Lee Nell and Chopper have pitted and gone on the softs. So if Techno can ring these laps out, he could go for super softs. I think CBO Land pitting for the super softs now will probably put him at a disadvantage. If I was Techno...
Oh, and someone... Lee Nell, how?
Oh no!
That was a very weird crash.
Out of the pit, coming out the pits as well on fresh tyres. That's a huge blow for the Williams team, especially for Lee Nell as well. Huge
what
blow.
Happened? I mean, I saw him. I was on him on the camera, and he was just going. He got a pretty good exit, and I think he got overtaken by CBO Land, and when that happened, his tire just blew up, and yeah, broke
Crazy incident there for Lee Nell, as Fletcher Boy is in 1st, but that's because Noak has pitted. Noak going on the super soft tyres. Do you expect them to last the 21 laps?
They should. No, it's pretty long, 21 laps.
Yeah, I think that's going to be quite a challenge, but I suppose with more grip getting laid down, the car's getting lighter as well. It should maybe stretch out the stint of the tyres.
And I think these tires still have life. These Ultras.
Yeah, well, because Fletcher Boy is doing quite well on them at the moment.
I think he will go... Maybe he will answer to Novak. Or maybe he will just... Oh, and Lance Graham is in the wall. So maybe he will just go for like 15 laps on these tires and then come back.
So the Mercedes of S. Graham, as mentioned by Peter, crashing out there, another DNF to his name. It's not going that well for him this season. He has some cracking performances then a few instances where he just loses the car. Hopefully round 15 will be more kinder to him, so we'll go on board with Gamey Things. The Ferrari driver is very hard to pass on track. He is chasing down Racing Podge, and Racing Podge is 11th in the Renault. He's right behind Blood and Sand in 10th. We've got the Renault driver trying to line up the Ferrari, but he has a little look, goes then behind him. Bit too risky to pass now, I think.
And Novak is getting held up by TJ Onis as Fletcher Boy is trying to make the overcut. And TJ Onis is doing a pretty good job so far, holding up everyone else.
So if you Novak's got the pass as Fletcher Boy pits for the soft tyres. So interesting move there.
So Fletcher go for the softs, so he does not think these tyres can last for like 4 laps. Interesting strategy. Novak is on the ultras. Or not? On my screen, yes.
No, super softs, Novak's on.
Okay. My screen is I don't want to say what it is, but
it's not right.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So we've got Humbug, he's currently leading, but that's just due to pit stops. When he pits, Noak should inherit his lead back. He's on this super softs, is Noak. Fletcher Boy going on the softs, so that must mean Fletcher Boy doesn't think the super soft's going to last, or Fletcher Boy is going to try and push for the rest of the race.
And Humbug can hold up Noak.
Go back on board with Blood and Sand in the Ferrari. He's got Racing Podge 8 tenths of a second behind him, and he's Blood and Sand's actually 5 tenths of a second behind Lord JB. A little mini train going on as the Force India, Ferrari and Renault all within about 1.3 seconds of each other. So this could be very interesting leading up to some of the slow corners. The Ferrari of Blood and Sand getting closer and closer by inch to the Force India of Lord JB.
Techno is 5th. Techno is 5th, and he's behind Fletcher Boy.
I've got a funny feeling Techno's going to regret going on to the ultra soft so early in the race. He could have probably gone for the soft tyre, maybe completed the race on it, but he's 5th at the moment and he's got to pit again.
Made the same move. He's back in 1st place, and he made the same move like he did last lap against TJ Onis.
So Blood and Sand is pulling away further from Racing Podge, but Gamey Things is closed on the back of the Renault driver. The Renault driver is struggling for a few corners there. So Gamey Things trying to make a move on the Renault driver. It's quite interesting. There's his teammate Blood and Sand trying to get past Force India of Lord JB. CBL Land getting a 3-second tyre penalty. That's for multiple warnings for corner cutting. So as Lord JB pits again for the 2nd time, as Racing Podge does as well. So Gamey Things is top 10 now at 10th place. Blood and Sand is in 9th. So both Ferraris in the point scoring positions. So
everyone other than just a second, other than TJ on his Humbug has made a pit stop, so the two teammates are waiting for each other, I believe, to make a call, to make a pit stop.
Do you think that's maybe dragging the tyres too far into the race to try and benefit from an overcut?
Well, I hope yes. I would like to see an interesting title showdown.
Yeah, I think that would be amazing if we could have that.
Yeah, for the first season, and Humbug is in the pits. 13 laps. Super Softs might go on. I would put them on.
So Fletcher Boy is in 3rd position on the soft tyre, the hardest compound available in dry tyres. He's 1 second away from TJ Onis. TJ Onis yet to pit as his teammate Humbug pits and goes on to the super soft tyres as Peter thought he would. So TJ Onis probably will be looking at to pit the next lap. He's already lost 4 tenths of a second, nearly 5 tenths of a second in about a third of a lap. So Fletcher Boy is really laying the putting the hammer down, actually try and catch Noak There's about 9 seconds between Nowak and Fletcher Boy. Fletcher Boy has to get past the Toro Rosso of TJ Onnis, who's on extremely worn tyres now, but he's holding up the Williams driver. This will be frustrating Fletcher Boy because he knows he has to try and get Nowak down. Nowak will be scoring points for the team, but he will not be scoring points for himself as being a reserve driver. We'll make that clear. So it won't affect the Drivers' Championship too much.
Yeah, and you're right. So Fletcher can gain again a lot of points on Techno and on Hambach and of course on Lee. So Techno is right behind Fletcher Boy.
Oh, just watching a replay of Lee Nell's incident, and it is quite bizarre.
What I'm talking about. Yeah. That's
I see what's happened. So CBO Land got a lot of lag and lagged back into the Williams driver of Lee Nell's car.
And I think, okay, Techno is making a pit stop.
So Techno and TJ Onnis both in the pits. So call your tyre what Techno's going to go on.
Super softs, but most importantly, if TJ Onnis can stay in front of Techno after the pits, then Techno will be in big trouble. And yes, he will.
Yeah, TJ Onnis has been released already. Techno has just been released. So there you go. That's an interesting choice. You would have gone yourself for the super soft tyres.
I think that was the worst strategy call by him all season.
There's strong words there from Peter, and I think I will have to agree with him, as probably most viewers will. He should have gone on the super soft tyres, a bit more performance. He's what, 7th position. He needs to try and defend his championship lead a little better. Yeah,
and also, if he went for the softs, then why wouldn't he go for them for the first time?
Yeah, exactly that. That'll be an interesting question to maybe ask him. If you go on to www.facebook.com/Speedforce Racing PS4, you will get all the latest news and feedback from the drivers about this race as well, because there's a few interesting decisions and calls being made by our drivers, especially Techno Thriller going on the soft tyres. Very interesting call, because he should have done that when he pitted the first time to try and salvage his race. I think he's just kind of compromised himself from getting maybe a podium.
Yes.
Lord JB is right on the back of for Snipe's sake. Lord JB in the Force India, he's 4/10 of a second behind Snipe, who is in the Red Bull, trying to get some points out of this race. I think Lord JB was trying to do. He had two decent qualifyings, one decent race last week. He didn't have the best races at Monza, but he's getting stronger with every race, which is nice to see. He's racing Podge now, trying to get involved in the battle, the Renault driver on the ultra soft tyres. So he will have
a move. That was a good move. A late lunge.
Oh, here we go. Sniper's got the move. He's got the position back, and now Renault, the Renault driver racing Podge all over the back of Lord JB. Lord JB trying to defend from it. Renault driver on the obviously grippier tyres than Lord JB will have a performance boost so early on in this stint, but later on in that stint that will suffer as the soft tyres come to Lord JB as they go through the tunnel. It's quite interesting now. I think within about 0.8 of a second we have these three cars: Red Bull, Force India and the Renault. It's looks like Lord JB has got more pace to him than the Red Bull driver.
Yes, I have to agree with you.
Oh, that was close.
A compromised exit, and so I think he will dive up the inside anyways.
Yeah, he's got the extra speed through DRS. He makes a move into turn 1 now. The Renault driver having a look.
They hit it.
There we go. That was very close between the Renault driver of Racing Podge and Snipe as well in the Red Bull. Racing Podge will have DRS again as Snipe's sake is just getting swallowed up. Is he going to lose his second position in less than a third of the lap? The Racing Podge having a little look. I don't think he's going to make the move. He's going to go right behind him, trying to get a little slipstream behind him. But he's got to remember, he's going to get turbulent air off that Red Bull, which will upset the Renault and will maybe cause a little incident if you're staying behind him for so long. As Smelly Badger goes into the pit, Sniper's getting a 3-second time penalty, and looks like he let the Renault driver go past him there. Interesting move. We'll probably find out more about that. We will try and go back on board with Techno. Techno Thriller is in 7th.
He is still behind TJ Honest.
Oh, that's going to be frustrating him so much. He was going to regret. Oh, he's got a 3-second time penalty. That was a pretty bad corner cut. We saw it on screen, so that's going to probably infuriate the driver a little bit more. I think he's pushing a little bit too hard now, and it's compromising his race even more. He's got DRS behind TJ Honest in the Toro Rosso as the other. Oh, he's trying to make a move. He makes a fake. He tries to make the move, and it goes back in line. It was probably too risky for him. Oh, we'll have a look at Humbug now. He's on the back of the McLaren Honda CBO land. So both Toro Rossos trying to get moves done in the race. Well, TJ Honest is defending while Humbug is actually trying to attack.
Yeah, team of the race, definitely.
Got Techno. Techno's trying to get past the Toro Rosso. It's frustrating for him.
And Techno is in trouble, I think. Not for now, because he'll be still in the lead of the championship and by quite a big margin, more than a race win. I think that's pretty good enough. But what I want to say is, if he does these performances on a regular basis, then he can lose the title.
Yeah, that's it, because he's been the guy that has been setting the marker down. He's been having good performances, and he's also, he may not win every race, but he still collects the points, and this race won't be his best. He's had a bit of contact. He nearly lost it there. A bit of contact on TJ Honest in the Toro Rosso. Techno keeping it together there, saving his race.
Yeah, and saving his championship hopes.
It's got me sweating here. That was a very, very risky moment there. As Techno's still trying to make the move. We'll go on board with CBO land. And he's trying to get past Humbug. Humbug is defending now. And McLaren on side by side with the Toro Rosso. CBO land going to get the move done. No. Humbug still ekes out in front of him.
Yeah, CBO land just got the corner, so there was no point getting back. No way getting back in front of Humbug.
Interesting thing is, Techno's battle is actually catching up CBO Land's battle with Humbug, so this could be interesting. It could be a four-way shootout for these drivers.
CBO Land lost a part of his front ring, so he's gonna have to do 14 laps.
Oh, that's going to be hard. That is going to be a tough ask.
And frustrating.
Oh, the Toro Rosso didn't get the best drive out of the corner as Techno Thriller nearly went into the back of him. Techno Thriller's trying to line up.
No.
Oh, no. There's a good battle ensuing at the moment.
Yeah, an amazing defensive play by TJ Honest.
God, Techno is giving it all, but TJ Honest is doing some great defensive driving as they go into the tunnel. Techno is being held back here. This is not helping him at all.
And they are coming up to CBO Land, which will help TJ Honest as well, I believe. Because he will have the no.
Oh, he's pitting. CBO Land's pitting. He's lost so much time to Humbug. He has to pit. Techno Thriller going a little bit crazy out of the end of the turn 23. Still behind the Toro Rosso though.
And Force Knife Steak is going to let them go through. Yeah, nice move by him. Techno needs to get past TJ Honest, and that's race important, crucial.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Peter. He needs to make this move, and the more laps he stays behind the Toro Rosso, the more it's harming him. It's not so bad that Lee Nell's crashed out, but when you've got Fletcher Boy and Humbug in front of you, you've got to be wary that you can't make silly moves, as Toro Rosso is still keeping the Haas driver behind him.
Definitely a very good job, and I think Techno is not brave enough to make.
Oh, he's trying to make a move. Oh, very close to crashing there, and it looks like Techno's finally got the move done. The Toro Rosso driver is not going to be happy about that.
Yeah, I usually say these things at the perfect moment, like he's not brave enough, and then he went up the inside. So
the Haas driver he's going to be quite happy with himself.
That was That was something else.
That was a very a decent battle, epic
Risky.
battle.
Epic battle, but a risky move.
Yeah,
which
it just
paid out for Techno.
I think it just shows you that the mindset that Techno's in, that he's going to try and battle until the end.
And that's the perfect mindset. Never give up, battle till the end.
Exactly that. So Humbug in the Toro Rosso seen Techno overtake his teammate, so he's got no wingman now to protect him from the ensuing threat of Techno Thriller. Chopper is in third, having a decent race. The Mercedes driver, very decent display, as Fletcher Boy in the Williams is second, 17.3 seconds behind. Noah is doing a great job in his debut drive.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Techno will have nightmares about Toro Rosso's closing lines on him.
That's it. Yeah, he's gonna have to get therapy after this race, I think.
Oh, and TJ on his crashed into the wall. Well, he made his job.
No.
Well, he made his job, so you cannot blame him.
He gave us a great display, but maybe he just took too much out of the tyres, or he just made a little simple mistake. Has he got damage to his wing? Looks like front left. End plate has gone, so that's going to make it tricky for him. CBO Land had damage and he had to pit, so maybe TJ on this is next up for a pit stop, which if I was him I'd probably put the ultra soft tyres on.
Yes, that would be a good call, I think. Ultra soft tyres for the next 10 laps.
On board with the McLaren Honda of Uzi, he's 7.5 seconds behind TJ Honest. He's having a quiet race of his own, but it's decent points still.
Yeah, he's having a pretty good race for himself, I think. He made a pretty good strategy call early on for pitting for the soft tires, and it's paying off for him so far. TJ Honest is going to the pits, I believe. Yes, he will. So Uzi, that will promote Uzi to P6.
What about Gamey Things? Do you reckon Gamey Things can make gain a position as well?
Yes, and CB on it as well. And it will be close to the Blood and Sand, and Lord JB is far away. But I think he will be close to Blood and Sand.
So TJ Honest is he's lost quite a few positions going into the pit after the incident. So Blood and Sand going into the pits. He's currently on the super soft tyres. He more likely be going on the ultra softs as TJ Honest did. So Newark is first, Fletcher Boy second, third, Chopper fourth, Humbug fifth, Techno Thriller, Uzi sixth, seventh, Gamey Things, CBO Land eighth, TJ Honest ninth, Lord JB 10th, and Snipe Sake has had an incident.
And that's
that's a nasty crash.
How did you put a car into the wall in the middle of the road? It's like, I remember Nelson Piquet Jr. did something like that for Fernando Alonso.
Yeah, cheating a race, that is disgusting. How could he do that?
We don't have safety car, fortunately, because it would screw up everything. So I think he made a contact with the wall or something like that.
So unfortunate for Snipe's sake, he is out. His teammate Uzi is going to be getting some decent points for 7th at the moment. He's he's 6th. Sorry, he's 22 seconds behind Techno Thriller. We're going to go on board with Techno Thriller. It's 5/10 of a second behind the driver in front of him.
And he's right at the back of Humbug.
There we go. So he's got one Toro Rosso. Now he's going to have the nightmares all over again as he goes behind Humbug in the Toro Rosso. He will not be looking forward to seeing the Toro Rosso next week, I can guarantee you that. He's going to try and make a move. Humbug will be, in my opinion, a bit more difficult to get past for Techno Thriller because they're championship rivals.
Yes. So if Humbug take both of them out, then that's okay. I mean, that's not okay, but in terms of the points, then none of them would gain any points. But I think Humbug is not trying to take anyone out.
So Techno Thriller 3/10 of a second behind Humbug. This is it's going to have a lot of impact on the Drivers' Championship as the Sauber gets out of the way. Racing Pod get a 5-second stop, go penalty speeding in the pit lane.
Novak is in the pits.
Oh, he's going
So
on to
that
the
would
ultra soft
promote
tyres.
Fletcher.
Oh, the Sauber's racing Techno Thriller there. The Sauber putting up a little bit of a fight, even though he's getting lapped. So that would maybe scare Techno Thriller a little bit, as Noah goes on the ultra softs. He's second now, but Fletcher Boy will not have to pit. He's on the soft tyres. He's first at the moment. A great move by Fletcher. Maybe not the best of strategy calls.
This is going to be a great battle for the win, I believe.
Yes,
Fletcher,
with Noah's going to be chasing down him.
And Fletcher wants to win. He wants to win badly.
I think he deserves the win. He's had a lot of bad luck.
Definitely, and he really wants that win. That's what I meant.
So Techno Thriller still behind the Toro Rosso. So Techno and Humbug actually are 1 and 2 in the Drivers' Championship. 38 points between them, with Techno being the victor at the moment. He's going to have to try and make this move stick, or if at worst he could take out him and his title rival, but I don't see that happening. Toro Rosso going a bit defensive there. Techno still behind him.
Move. Aggressive, but very on the verge of a good move. That was pretty good.
So as they go through a ghosted car, Techno is right on the back of Humbug. Humbug's got to keep it under control. There is not much gap between them, a few centimetres at best through corners. This is going to be very close. I think Techno may have the pace advantage over Humbug, but Humbug will not give this up easy.
Yeah, Humbug is struggling at the moment. And
Techno
again,
is getting side by side.
Run.
Look at the defensive driving from Humbug is amazing.
The Toro Rossos are doing an amazing job.
Here we go. They're very closely going up towards the tunnel. Let's see if Techno's can stay close through this slow, tricky section.
Fletcher Boy will be in trouble.
Yeah, he's lost 3 seconds to Noak already.
Yeah,
that is crazy
that's how
pace.
quick these tyres are.
So Techno's starting lap 23, still behind the Toro Rosso, and he will be having major concerns now, because he's going to lose some points to Humbug, but also to the Constructors' Championship as well.
And after one lap, I think we might have to change cameras to the first two guys.
Yeah, I totally agree. Let's come on Techno, either do the move or so I can move on. I want to move on to Noah because he's gaining so fast on Fletcher Boy. We will give it probably half a lap on board with Techno, as Humbug is still keeping him behind. The Hash driver will be getting frustrated so much, and I'm sure Humbug will be sweating like mad trying to keep this car behind him.
They are doing, both of them are doing a good job.
Techno, we are gonna, do we leave this battle? We'll just keep on this battle for a little bit longer. Noak is 1.9 seconds behind. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2. Humbug is doing a brilliant job. Jonas, aka Humbug, is very talented brother. Noak gets a 1:39.5. That is an amazing time, not far off his quali time.
Yeah, and he just got up.
Alright, we're going to go on board with Noak. He is chasing down the Williams of Fletcher Boy. Fletcher Boy currently first. Noak's had 2 stops. Fletcher Boy with the 1 pit stop, so he's on worn soft tyres, but he still have a bit of performance there. Noak has gained about 6.2 seconds in about 2 and a bit laps.
Techno is 1/10 away. Now it's 3.
So
right
we've got 2 battles. I wish we could have split screen. Oh, Humbug gets a 3-second time penalty. Will that be him releasing Techno to get past him?
That puts them equal.
Gamey Things making a move on Lord JB. Gamey Things on the ultra softs. Lord JB on the soft tyres. That will be helping Gamey Things as we still. Oh, look at that! Ooh. What a dive bomb and a half. That was quite a weird dive bomb. It didn't work out for Noak. Fletcher Boy keeps it all together.
I think he misjudged his braking zone.
So the Williams driver. This is going to be an epic battle as well.
Now this is a test for Fletcher. This is a big test for Fletcher.
So Noah keeping it behind in the Force India reserving tonight. So Force India are going to get some decent points if both drivers can keep in the top 10. Lord JB currently 10th. So Techno is still trying to get by that stubborn Toro Rosso of Humbug. Going to the last corner on board.
Look at the
Noah.
grip advantage.
Yes, look at it. It's amazing, Noah, because he's trying to...
You're defending.
Yeah, that's it. He's trying to force Fletcher Boy to choose his position on the
And a
track.
good
There we go.
move.
What a move. Easily done
Yeah.
there by Noak. Fletcher Boy will be in second. We're going to go on board with Humbug now. Because I think Techno will be trying to make a move anytime soon.
Close. Techno
Lord
is
J-
very close.
Lord JB pitting it again for the Ultra Soft tyres.
I think he's having a day off.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to start paying rent to the pit box as well because he's been in there so long. So,
I agree with you.
lap 25 and Humbug is still in front of Techno. Techno will be going nuts. He's not got this move done.
Yeah, and Humbug is still keeping them tires live, which is a very good job from him.
So, do you reckon if Techno doesn't get this move done, do you reckon he's going to regret getting that 5 position penalty in qualifying?
Definitely. It was... I didn't see the incident, but I think he got a penalty because it was his fault. So...
Oh,
Oh,
Techno looks like he just smashed the barrier, like touched the barrier. It could be just the way the game
and
is.
lost half of his front wing. So,
Oh, so he has made contact. That's going to make it extremely hard now because you've seen CBO Land have wing damage having to pit as well as TJ Honest had wing damage had to pit. It's a track that you need to have proper aerodynamic grip.
that's dirty, yeah. That's what causes those mistakes.
That's it. As Peter says, you get the turbulent air and it causes so much dirty air to affect the aerodynamic performance of the car, and it's extremely hard. I think Techno's got a big job on his hand trying to get past Humbug.
Though he's closing. But I think Humbug has a setup like he has low wings or lower wings, and he can just pull away on the straights.
So, what wings would you go for Singapore? I would be tempted to go quite high. How about yourself?
I would say 7-8 or maybe 8-8, which is pretty high in my opinion.
Yeah.
For because he has straights, not like in Monaco.
I got a funny feeling he can't battle with Humbug now with the damage. He's lost over a second now.
Yeah, I agree with you.
That is going to be frustrating for Techno.
That was bad, and yeah, we have quite a few drivers in the points for the first time, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think
Uzi's not scored many
Gamey
points, nor has Gamey thing, so it's going to be good for them if they can keep it in the top 10. 4 laps to go, including this one. Techno Thriller, he looks like he's backed off due to the damage on his wing, but then sometimes he closes a good 3 tenths of a second up to Humbug. Maybe he's just trying to rest his tyres a bit, try and get the last couple of laps to try and burn his tyres out, get the performance advantage out of them, but it's going to be tough.
And he's doing a great job, so that's a recovery drive from him.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you have a recovery drive before you even started the race because he got that penalty, it's just tough.
Yeah. And
so
you know, P5 is not the end of the world.
Oh no, I would be made up with P5, but Techno won't be because he's a championship contender. He did get DRS then, so he was within a second of Humbug, but he's dropped 5 tenths of a second within a few corners as well. So it just shows you that that damage is really affecting him.
And if you look at it's a little bit closer. If you look at it a little bit closer, you can see Humbug is pulling away for like the 2/3 of a lap, and then on the technical part of the circuit, in sector 3, Techno is gaining 4/5 tenths.
So it's quite interesting where some of the some part of the circuits where Humbug's pulling away because of maybe lower downforce, but then Techno's reeling them in even though he's got damaged wing.
Oh, Techno!
Oh no, it's going from bad to worse. He's had a half spin there and that's just dropped him right far behind Humbug now, 7-8 seconds probably. That is very tough. Lucky he's got a big gap over CBO land, or he could have been in trouble. It could be just one of them days in the office for Techno. He's not having a great race, but he's still scoring points, which is important.
Let's talk about Chopper for a bit, because he's doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, I would say that's probably his best driver this season so far. He is a very fast driver. It's just sometimes with the other fast drivers you can get a bit overshadowed, but it's nice to see that Chopper will get his moment, and he looks like he's going to get third place. He's got Humbug 11 seconds behind him. I don't think he's going to be troubling him with 3 laps to go. So Chopper, very, very decent display.
I think the driver of the day has to be either Novak or Chopper.
If it was me, I would give it to Chopper, just because
Okay.
he's a regular driver and he does try every single week. But I'm going to leave the decision up to you, Peter. You are the special guest that can give us the driver of the day.
Thank you. I can agree with that one.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So, yep, Chopper is driver of the day. If you've been following our season, going onto the Facebook page, checking the standings, he does put in decent displays every single week. Sometimes unlucky, sometimes not. But third position, he's going to be absolutely made up with that. Mercedes driver doing brilliantly, as his teammate S. Graham had to DNF'd after an incident in the race. So at least Mercedes is still getting some decent points. 15 points from today's race will be brilliant for him.
Yeah, I think they are in a battle for P5 still.
The good thing is that Chopper is on 76 points, so when he gets 15, if he finishes third, it'd be 91 points. Lee now is on 138, so he's closing the gap. So he could have his eyes on third in the Drivers' Championship.
Yeah, but remember, Lee now is still in the fight for the championship. So
that's it. Lee now he's tough.
I think Chopper. Okay, how many points does Fletcher have?
Fletcher has 72 points.
72. Okay, so that will be 90.
So Chopper will have 91, so Fletcher 72, so that will be 19 points difference.
19 points different. I think they both can challenge P3, but this battle will be decided between Humbug and Techno. That's my opinion.
Okay, so just a two horse race then, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've heard it from Peter. That's what he thinks, and I'm probably going to tend to agree, especially with Lee now DNFing today. Unfortunate to have a car lag behind and smash his car in and ruin his race. So that's unfortunate for Lee now. Driver will come back stronger as well, because that's what he's about. He puts in decent displays every week, just a bit of bad luck. But his teammate Fletcher Boy had bad luck in Austria with a car lagging behind him, and it was actually Techno Thriller that lagged to cause Fletcher Boy to crash out of Austria. So it does happen. It's unfortunate. Yeah, exactly.
That was pretty unfortunate. So we have only one more lap left to go, and I wouldn't say this race has gone by like pretty fastly, but that's what you get from Singapore. It's a pretty long and exhausting race.
Exactly. CBO Land is in 6th position, and we're on board with TJ Honest. He's 4 tenths of a second behind CBO Land. Are we going to get one more pass in the race? So the Toro Rosso driver had a little bit of an incident, had to pit late in the race, but he's on the ultra soft tyres. The CBO Land is on worn soft tyres.
And TJ Honest is is also a pretty good competitor and doing an amazing job this
He's
season.
got
And this,
he makes a harsh move to the left as the McLaren Honda tries to defend. It's going to be close. The McLaren Honda driver looks like he's run wide. I would probably give that position back because it looked like TJ Austin was ahead of him, but that's from my view, so I'm not too certain.
I think the stewards will remove that 3-second penalty because he was forced off.
Okay, I got you. He's pushed a bit wide. Okay, that would be looked at by the stewards. As the Toro Rosso driver, he makes a late move there, and it looks like a bit of contact between them. McLaren Honda not giving up. We're going to go on board with Nowak. I don't want to, but we're going to have to because it's the last lap of the race. As if you keep us updated with CBO Land and TJ Honest, that'd be great. Okay. So Nowak is coming around the last, it's last sector 2 of the race. He's done a great race. He's had 2 pit stops. He fought back from his second pit stop with Fletcher Boy in the lead. Fletcher Boy was on soft tyres as he is now. Nowak putting a great performance in there. There's some reason my screen changed to a DNF driver. So Nowak, he's got a slap Sauber in his way. Will the Sauber move over? Of course he will. No, he's not gonna. There we go. So, yes, he does now. Sauber moving out of the way. So Nowak, he's on his last lap. His debut drive as a reserve driver for Force India. He's going to get 25 points for the team. Great drive by him. He's 13.4 seconds in front of the Williams driver of Fletcher Boy. And also Chopper, he's 30 seconds above him. So quite a composed drive for him. He's been very fast in quality, very fast in the race. He's pulled out, I think he had about an 8 seconds lead after about 6-7 laps, so it just shows you he does have a lot of speed in him. Here we go.
Yes, he has.
He's coming round the final corner, and he's going to get the Technofiller, get a 3-second time penalty. He gets the race win. There you go, Nowak, with his first race of Speed Force Racing, gets his first win. A great drive by him, and he will be made up with that. We'll go on board with Fletcher Boy.
Fletcher is happy, and that's what you want to see from him.
He's made up a bit of weaving as he goes over the line. Second place for Fletcher Boy.
Because that's something which can build confidence and make you a better driver. Coming home in second and then winning the race, and not a good result, and another one, some bad luck, which you can learn from.
Totally agree. As the fireworks are going off, making the track look like blue, yellow and red, as we get Chopper in third position. What a drive. Third position for Chopper in the Mercedes, and our driver of the day. A great drive there. Humbug crosses the line in fourth position. A brilliant defensive drive.
2 points. He gains 2 points on Techno.
There we go. 2 points is a huge advantage, especially with the caliber of opponent like Technofiller. Technofiller goes through to finish 5th, as we got TJ Honest and CBO Land still going at it. It's the last lap. There's a few more corners, about 3-4 corners left. Will the McLaren Honda make a late dive?
No, he can't, I believe. Yes, he cannot.
TJ Honest crosses the line in 6th position. CBO Land crossing the line in 7th position as we await Uzi in the McLaren Honda. He crosses the line in 8th position. 9th is Gamey Things in Ferrari.
Okay, I'm gonna invite the drivers.
Brilliant. There we go.
Should I?
Great race.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Invite Noah. Actually, don't invite Noah. His mic is not working, so I'll get a message. So there we go, from Speed Force Racing round 14. We have Nowak, who gets his first win in Speed Force Racing, the reserve driver for Force India. Fletcher Boy with 2nd position, a well-deserved result. And our driver of the day, Chopper. What a brilliant drive by him. Absolutely amazing. 3rd position for him. He will be extremely happy with that. So we've got Nowak 1st, 2nd Fletcher Boy 1st, Chopper 4th Humbug, Technofiller 5th, TJ 6th, 7th CBO Land, 8th Uzi, 9th Gamey Things, Lord JB is 10th, 11th Blood and Sand, 12th Smelly Badger Racing Podge 13th, 14th guys it's Mudkip, 15th Dides X, and the other few drivers we've got Lee Now, who's DNF'd as well, and S Graham. So quite a very interesting race with some interesting penalties and interesting manoeuvres and strategy calls as well. So it'll be I think that was quite an interesting Singapore Grand Prix. So as we await Fletcher Voigt to come in to do his driver interview, as mentioned, Noak will not be joining us. He doesn't have a mic, which is unfortunate. So we will get his thoughts through a message which is sent to me.
Yeah, I agree with you. It was a pretty good Grand Prix. And, of course, congratulations to Chopper. He's one driver of the day.
Yeah, brilliant result for Chopper. Great drive by him.
Thank you very much.
Hello, good evening. Please make sure your voice is always allowed to share.
Yeah, it is, mate.
Okay. I'm gonna check if... Yes. Fletcher is still not in.
As we await Fletcher Boy, quick on the track, slow to get in the lobby. Come on. Alright, we'll wait in. Fletcher Boy is coming as quick as possible. Alright, so we're going to have the faults of Noak. So it was his first race for Speed Force Racing in the Modern League. He does race in the Classics. His faults are, my race went very smoothly. Quality is very important. I got the best position starting. I got a good start, managed to control the pace. My plan was the one stop, however I struggled on the second stint with the front left, making me pit a second time. I got the overtake on Fletcher Boy and drove to the end, very happy, and a great result for Noak, a brilliant reserve driver, as we await Fletcher Boy. Hopefully he's in here soon.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm
he
in
is.
that.
There we go, Josh, thank you. So we will go straight to you, Josh. How was your race?
It was good. I was by myself for most of it, so it got a bit boring. But he was Newark was quick, really quick. I couldn't keep up with him, so happy with second though.
Did you know when Noak had his second pit stop and he was right behind you? Was there much
Yeah.
point of fighting him, or were you just going to try and hold him up?
I tried, but he was way quicker on the ultras compared to me on old soft, so didn't have much chance.
Okay, we'll go to Chopper now, and then Peter will ask a few questions if he wants. So Chopper, you got driver of the day for an excellent performance in the race. Was that the best you could have got out of the race today?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Fletch and Noak were way too quick for me today. It was quite a lonely race, like Fletch, to be honest. Yesterday, after the start, I was on my own pretty much all the way. But I made up with third. I thought Lee was going to be quick, but he crashed out, and I thought Humbug was going to catch me as well, but he just seems to be clashing with Seabold, so he sort of helped us up.
So, do you see this as a platform now to start building towards more performances like this?
Yeah, always. I hate street races, but my best results have come at Monaco. I got third there and I got third here, so I don't know what that's all about.
It might be your forte then. Alright, Peter, would you like to ask the drivers any questions?
Yeah, of course. Just one question for both of you. Do you found this track particularly hard, other than like Monaco or something like that?
Yeah, it's difficult. You have to concentrate all the way through because obviously the walls are quite tight. But it's not as difficult as Monaco, but it is one of the more difficult tracks, definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with Fletch. It's nowhere near as tight as Monaco, but it is still one mistake in doing the wall sort of thing. Made up, it's over.
Okay,
So
go on, Peter.
congratulations, Chopper. Congratulations on winning driver of the day. Good job, buddy, and good job,
Nice.
Fletcher. Congratulations,
Cheers.
guys.
Cheers,
Thanks a lot,
thank you.
guys, and brilliant performance as always. Especially you, Chopper. You're always really good putting decent performance in. So it was nice to see you get a payoff with third position. Fletcher, you've done a great job, mate. You're still collecting the points for the team, especially in the constructors. So
Yeah.
I'd like to thank you both, guys, and you can exit the chat party. Great job, guys.
Cheers.
See you later.
See you, mate. So we will end our stream of round 14 from Speed Force Racing next season, which will be starting in April for us. It will be on this game. We've going to have 2 divisions. So if you're good at driving and you can do non-assist, we've got plenty of spaces in our non-assist division. Just message the page www.facebook.com/Speed Force Racing PS4. Leave us a message. We'll get back to you and we'll get you racing. It was great to be joined by Peter, aka Ramovaj, who will be racing next week when the league goes into round 15. So that should be interesting. I hope you enjoyed tonight, Peter.
Yeah, thank you. Always a pleasure, buddy.
Yeah, thank you so much, Peter, for the weeks of coming in and joining me in comms. And it's going to be different next week seeing your race, but I'm sure viewers will embrace that and be supporting you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. We will be back tomorrow for the Classic Series. It is round 3 of the Classics, and I think it will be at Spa in the 2004 Ferrari, if I'm wrong. I probably am, just correct me. Oh, it will be. There you go. I've got something right tonight. That's a great point to end with. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and good night.
Yeah, good night.